I accidentally fell in love with my roommate's sister, and I don't know how to undo it. I, 26M, moved in with my roommate, Mark, 27M, about 2 years ago. We met at work, got along well enough, and both wanted to save money, so it made sense. He's loud, social, the kind of guy who always has people over. I'm more reserved, but it worked. For the first year, I barely knew his family existed. Then last spring, his younger sister Lily, 24F, came to stay with us for a couple weeks. She had just gone through a breakup, needed a place to crash while she figured things out, and Mark said it'd be temporary. I didn't think much of it. I figured she'd stay in his room, keep to herself, and be gone before it mattered. I was wrong about basically everything. The first time I met her, she came in carrying two overstuffed tote bags, hair in a messy bun, wearing one of those oversized hoodies that looked stolen. She smiled at me like she already knew me and said, "You must be the mysterious roommate." That should have been nothing. It wasn't. She was normal. That's the dangerous part. Not intimidatingly hot, not loud, not trying to impress anyone. She made coffee every morning and always offered me some. She left sticky notes on the fridge like, "Don't forget to eat vegetables," that were clearly aimed at both of us. She laughed at dumb jokes and had this habit of sitting on the kitchen counter instead of using chairs. We started talking. A lot. At first it was harmless, late-night conversations when Mark went to bed early, watching bad reality TV together, complaining about work. Then it turned into inside jokes. Then into texting each other memes from opposite sides of the apartment. Then into knowing when the other was having a bad day without saying anything. I told myself I was just being friendly. She was my roommate's sister. Off limits. End of story. Except feelings don't really care about rules. One night, about a month in, the power went out during a storm. Mark was out. Lily and I lit candles, sat on the couch and talked for hours. Not small talk, real stuff. Her breakup, my fear of being stuck in a job I hated, the ways we both felt like we were behind in life. At some point, she rested her head on my shoulder. She didn't move it for the rest of the night. I didn't sleep at all. After that, I started noticing everything. The way she hummed while doing dishes, how she always wore mismatched socks, how she'd lean against my doorway just to talk, like she didn't want the conversation to end. I hated myself for it. Every time I felt that pull in my chest, I'd remind myself, this is Mark's sister. You live together. This can only end badly. So I tried to pull back. I spent more time in my room. I stopped lingering in the kitchen. I kept conversations surface level. Lily noticed immediately. One night she asked, "Did I do something?" I panicked and said no. I lied badly. A week later, she told us she'd found a short-term sublet and would be moving out. She said it casually, like it didn't matter. But I could tell it did. The day she left, the apartment felt empty, too quiet, like someone had taken the warmth with them. For weeks after, I couldn't stop thinking about her. Then she texted me, just a meme, then another. Then we were talking every day again, just without sharing a space. One night, she asked if I wanted to grab coffee. I said yes before I could think. Coffee turned into walking around the city. Walking turned into dinner. Dinner turned into sitting in my car. Neither of us getting out. She finally said, "I feel like we're pretending something isn't there." I didn't argue. We didn't kiss. That night or the next few times, we just talked, carefully, like we were handling something fragile. Eventually, I told Mark. That was the worst part. He was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "I trust you. I just don't want either of you getting hurt." I promised him I'd be careful. I don't know if that was fair because love isn't careful. Lily and I have been seeing each other for 6 months now. Slowly, privately, respectfully. It's real in a way I didn't expect. Not dramatic, not explosive, steady, safe. Sometimes I still feel guilty. Sometimes I worry about what happens if it ends, about what happens if it doesn't. But I've realized something. I didn't fall for her because she was my roommate's sister. I fell for her because she felt like home in a place that never quite did. And I don't know how this story ends yet, but for the first time in a long while, I'm okay with that.